like to just put up stuff that we're passionate about, people we're interested in. Sometimes it don't matter if you got a deal. Sometimes it don't matter if 10 people know you. Or in the case of Trey, I with Trey because he been 100 since day one. So if anything I could do for this dude, we there. And I just think it's good to have him out, man. The dude can sing, he can write, he can produce. He got an awesome stage show. I think he good for music culture. Trey, you want to say what's up to everybody?
Most definitely. I wanted to do this in a special way because, I remember the days in my career when I actually had the time in my schedule where I could jump on the call at any time, and I would. Crespo will tell you, I remember when every time I came up here to the office, I had to stop by and holler at him because I was that close to the DJ community. And, as I've evolved as an artist, I've never forgotten the DJs. I'll make a whole album full of ballads, but I gotta have one for my guys because y'all have given me a different life. You know what I mean? Y'all have supported me on mixtape records, on your mix shows throughout my whole career. I'm very clear that I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. And Sway, like he said, he since the braids, you know what I mean? Like, so when I'm at this point in my career and I got a record like Nana as my first single, #1 at Rhythmic and living in the clubs, that's special to me. So when I know I got another record like Foreign coming, I just want to give y'all more insight to whatever it is y'all thinking about, and just reach out to y'all and say thank you in a special way. And say, I need you one more time.
Let me ask you this, man, because the Chapter 5, that was one of my favorite albums because of a couple of the tracks you had on there. 2 Reasons, Simply Amazing. Heart Attack was one of my favorite songs. And I felt like, man, I'm watching you evolve, not just as a man, as a person, but also as an artist. With this album, how are you taking this album to a whole nother step in your evolution?
This album is a bit more personal when you get into the depths of it. I've given a lot of myself to music. I've given a lot of myself to my fans. From the beginning of my career, when I said I gotta make it, to I said I gotta go, and I had that really soulful sound, that rich. I had Aretha Franklin on my first album, to Trey Day being a little more hip hop, and me trying to balance that line throughout my career, with Ready being my biggest record and having the sex appeal attached to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that I want to detach from that ever because that's a piece of who I am. But within this album, I want to express that through love, relationship, sex, whatever it is, this is what's going on in my life. And it's a lot of records on there that will be very expressed, like Foreign. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fun record, but that really happened. You know what I mean? Like, I really was in Miami, and you know what I mean? It's every 4 months, it's a group of girls down there that have a certain amount of time they on their visa. They either there 3 months, they there 6 months. You run into them, you might have a good time with them if you meet. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different stories being told, and that's a fun aspect of one, and it's some deep ones as well. And Trigga's a piece of who I am, and a lot of people expect Trigga to be, because that's often attached to the rap side of me, to the hip hop side of me. But it's still a Trey Songz R&B album, even with that in regard. When you hear records like Change Your Mind that dropped today, you hear a record called What's Best For You that's coming out next. I'm very excited about. But it's
why are you excited about that one?
It just feel good, man. It's a record that has the sound possibility of a global record, but it's still saying what I want to say. I'm still saying it the way I want to say it. Like, all the indicators say that it'll be a big song, but I'm not forfeiting none of what I want to do in this album, and I've had to do that before. And on this album, I didn't hold back nothing on what I wanted to do. It's been a lot of times I've had to compromise, and even as I've gained more credibility in the things I do, I still have had to compromise in a lot of situations. And with this album, I was unwilling to compromise. I had a great team of people working with me, and the vibe was great. I studio in the crib, I wake up, go downstairs, and record a song. You know what I mean? Like, I might record a song after the club last night. I might get in an argument with a girl and go to the studio. You know what I mean? So it's songs about that in there.
You say you're more vulnerable on this album than ever before, would you say? Like,
yeah,
this will be the most vulnerable you've been?
I would say it's vulnerable in an unforgiving way, though. It's vulnerable in a brash way, whereas though I may not be saying it in, like, I have a song called Yes, No, Maybe, where I'm battling with a woman just abandoning me. Like, but was I ever really there for her? Like, but I'm snapping and then I'm apologetic, then I'm snapping and I'm, you know what I mean? So it's just, it feels good, and I really love the way that it feels sonically. You know how Nana got that bounce, but it's still sexy.
Yeah.
You know, and I ain't really singing on it, but I'm singing on it. You know what I mean? Like everything is in pocket. I feel like.
Okay. So we're gonna see three sides of you. We're gonna see Tremaine, Trey Songz, and Trigga, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
That's a great way to describe it.
You know, right? That's the triumphant is coming together. What's the difference between Tremaine and Trey Songz?
Well, we all we all have personalities. You know, we all have different emotions. And you know what's funny is that in music, you know, artists are often expected to only give one side of that.
Yeah.
You know, it shocked the world when Kanye wanted to do 808s and Heartbreak. Yeah. And even though he had gave people emotion before, he had gave people his every emotion, but when he wanted to do it in a different way, it shocked people. Afterwards, they understood. People weren't accepting of Drake in his first early days, singing and rapping and trying to blend that together till he found a perfect mix of it. Because people weren't accepting of that. But now that he's giving himself a way to do it in every way, it's accepted. You know what I mean? Once you prove the point of having it, because people live their lives and have different emotions, but if you rap this way, I want you to rap this way for me forever. Like Hov say, niggas want my old albums. You know? Buy my old album, you know what I'm saying? But that's the way we are as people. We're conditioned to think you should be this way. So basically what I've done is, not even myself, I've been given these nicknames, you know what I mean? And they actually are pieces of my character. So Trigga, I feel, is unapologetic. Trigga's, Brad Trigga tell you, Trigga kick you out. Yeah. Tremaine, I actually like, what you doing later, baby? You know what I mean? Like, what's on your schedule? Like, you know, when I'm, you know.
Did you hear the voice right there? That's the Tremaine voice.
Yeah. And Trey Songz is just a collective of all of my emotions, you know what I mean? And within that, within a career span, you find an artist going from a time where they're giving you everything they have to where they're giving you what they have to give you. You know, so in my career, there came a time when I had to balance that. You know, because I really wanted Wonder Woman to pop. Yeah. But Can't Help But Wait pop. Yeah. You know, I was happy with that. Yeah. But you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I really wanted Your Side of the Bed to be a big record. You know, where I did the video for the troops and the army and everything with love, but nobody saw that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just right now at this point in my career, I can do what I want to do, because I've got to a point where I think people are expecting a certain amount from me, and this album I really focused on giving so much of myself, because after I did a world tour, a couple movies came out, like I really got time to just sit back and look at everything. I ain't been able to do that my whole career. Man, I've been on the go. I remember one time my accountant told me, because we were looking at a possible renegotiation situation with the label, actually. I was just looking at my numbers. This was years ago. Looking at my numbers, and I realized when they did like the 300 deals, 360.
The 360 deals. Okay, yeah.
360. And for people that don't know, this when an artist is just basically a partner with the label, and y'all share a lot of everything. And I had to look at my shows to see how much money I was in, and evaluate really what was going on. And I realized I had did like 150 plus shows both years. This was when I still was performing just with my DJ. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's 2 years straight I did that. So I performed like every other day for 2 years straight. Like, that's crazy. The equivalent of. Yeah. So, like, this was the first time. That's just an example to show how hard I really been working, and radio in between, and videos in between, taking care of my family in between. I'm the man of my family. So, after those last years, I really got a chance to sit back and see, and not be worried about money, not be worried about touring, not be worried about having to be on the radio. Will I be forgotten? Not, you know, feeling comfortable within my space and able to live my life. And I think the music breathes that.
Yeah, that's what this album does.
Yeah.
You know, I always see you, and I don't like to make comparisons, but I've, you know, got a chance, and all of us, everybody on this phone call helped break your career, you know, and help break, you know, Usher's career, or whoever it is, whoever you can name. These dudes right here are the ones that help make it happen. And then we like to see those people that we invest in blossom and grow. And I always feel like that kind of level of success that Usher had reached, I feel like it's, you know, when the Confessions, I think it was his big project.
Yeah.
That's what I've been waiting for you.
Shit, me too, nigga. Hey, we all wait.
Okay, all right, cool. Then we, you know, and so you feel like, can this album reach those heights? Like, is that what this album is?
I feel like, you know, the days where somebody selling 10 million, you know, it's kind of far-fetched. And for myself, I just actually went platinum for my Ready album. But what I've consistently been able to do, that I see really legends do time and time again, and are able to do for the rest of their career, is sell out these shows. You know what I mean? Consistently go out and tour and create a bigger fan base everywhere I go. You know, I'm doing well, man.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to do better, like you said. And I think this album, because I can only compare myself to myself.
Yeah.
This album with Ready being the most energy I've had around an album. You know, and Passion, Pain, and Pleasure was actually a bigger album than Ready. But the energy that I had around Ready, it was new energy around me. It was the art of discovery. You know, some people discover me for the first time. Some people knowing about me in the combustion of so many songs coming out. But what I think this one has is, there hasn't been any R&B out, really.
Yeah.
You know, outside of, you know, a lot of new guys coming, and no disrespect to anybody, but if you think about the people you suspect to be putting out R&B, a few of them guys went EDM for a couple years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Because we are creative, and we all should be allowed that space to go do whatever it is we want to do. What I chose to do in that time was make 2 Reasons, Heart Attack, Simply Amazing. And that was hard to commit to, you know what I mean? Considering that, you know, that music was popular at the time. And Chapter 5, the album I'm speaking about, it actually didn't do as well as I thought it would do. But I think that was in a time when music was headed a different place, and where people, you know, people were kind of, the hand was forced to do a certain thing musically. I think we all, especially you as DJs, have seen the transformation in what you've been able to do with music in certain places because of certain regulations and certain politics. So what I feel with music coming back to a place that it's in right now, where hip-hop and R&B and pop are kind of merging, where you got Katy Perry on the trap drums, you know what I mean?
Juicy J,
and that's what the world is listening to. When you got, you know what I'm saying? Things like that change the way global music or popular music is perceived.
You got Lord singing on rap beats.
That's what I'm saying, and that's considered pop. And pop is short for popular. You know what I mean? But is it really? Is it because it's popular, or is it because it's something else? So I think where music is going, and I think the creativity that we're actually being allowed it's giving me a chance, whereas I can go make foreign.
Yeah.
And it could be one of those records. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have the energy around me that I did at that time. It's just a new energy where people are ready for me.
Yeah.
You know, and people are ready for something musically. You know, from the consistency in the videos to the quality of the videos I'm making to my artwork. If you look at my single images, if you look at everything, like I'm paying very much attention to everything, and I know what I want it to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I want it to feel like. And everybody else is in line. My team, we having 2, 3, 5 calls a day about this. You know, if it's a edit in a video, I'm getting on the phone with the legal team, like, what's the law that I have to change? Oh, it's a crotch shot. I have to take the crotch shot out of the foreign video in front of smartphones.
Yeah.
And crotch shot is a shot where it's directly on that area and no other part of the body is shown. You have to have a certain license for that. Like, I'm to the point where everything matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Detail.
Yeah.